Good morning, beloveds. Having kind of a rough start to the day, so let's get this going and see how it goes. It is July 6th. Our title is I Trust God. And there go 2 more pages off the book. Our first quote is, "Then shall I call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and it shall say, Here I am." And that is Isaiah 58:9. The second quote is, "As God cares for the birds, who does not gather into barns, so shall we be cared for if we trust and do not doubt." And that is The Science of Mind, page 432. The Science of Mind philosophy teaches a 5-step method of affirmative prayer. These steps or stages are recognition, unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. The final step, in which the prayer is released, often includes the spoken phrase, "and so it is." This means that the person who is praying releases all sense of control, as if to say, "I let go and let God." In order to pray effectively, each of us needs to develop the great trust that such an act of release requires. If we want positive changes in our life, we must keep our mind focused on the good we want to experience, regardless of what our present circumstances are, knowing that the power of God will act on the new mental mold we are presenting to it. Our lives are healed and our circumstances change for the better when we replace negative beliefs with positive ones, placing our complete trust in God. God creates all that is, and I daily use divine wisdom in all that I think, say, and do. I trust in God's loving response to me, and I accept the good of life, knowing that there is no reluctance on God's part to fulfill my desires. With gratitude, I allow God's action to take place perfectly. And that is Margaret Stortz. And somebody's talking to me and I don't know who. Okay. And today is the day that I don't want to do this reading, and is probably the day that I really need this reading. And that's how it goes, right? I've been dealing with pain, pretty much constant pain. You know, most of the time it's a low level ache, and I don't know why. And I've done a number of things to manage it. And finally, I asked for a recommendation to another doctor, so I went to the doctor. He took 4 vials of blood. It was 2 weeks ago. Well, I just got the call from the doctor. There's nothing wrong with me. Okay. And yet he called in 2 medications. So yeah, there's something. But in his purview, according to his test, there's no autoimmune. So that's a good thing, right? Except it still doesn't explain why I'm dealing with pain. And now I'm looking at 2 medications that I'm like, one of them I've heard of, and I'm like, I'm not sure I'm willing to do that. The other one I've never heard of, and so it's going to be a matter of going and talking to the pharmacist and going, "Hey, about this medication." Of course, then the other factor of that is, will my insurance pay for them? That'll be the trick. So to come in and do this reading and see the title is I Trust God. Yeah, I trust God. Do I trust all of God? That's the question. And the reason I say that is because where I'm struggling is with people. But they are part of God. They are created by God. They are of God. And yet here I am, having been to the doctor and been told, yeah, I understand you're in pain, but there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. So now what do I do? And that's one of the reasons why I'm constantly telling you that what you're going through will inform how you read things. And it is extremely important to understand that when people interpret sacred literature. Depending on what is going on in your life, you're going to read different things in the Bible. So it is important to understand the context of when the translations were done, including your own translation. Because I'm not feeling this reading today. And it has nothing to do with the writer. And it has nothing to do with science of mind. It has to do with what I'm going through right now. Right now. So, then thou shalt call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and it shall say, here I am. Isaiah is an exile prophet. Because that's Isaiah 58:9. Isaiah was written while the Hebrews were in exile in Babylon. That is what informs how those stories were written and the purpose that they were written for. And I definitely feel like crying today. So, and stating that out loud then leads me to go, now, if I cry to the Lord, I have to listen to the answer. And am I willing to do that? So, now from the science of mind, God cares for the birds who do not gather into barns. So shall we be cared for if we trust and do not doubt. Well, where's my doubt today? It's right up in front, you know? Okay. And so what do I do about that? Well, here's the good news. I have people. I have people that I can text and say, all right, here we are. I didn't get the answers. Or I did get an answer. It was not, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's nice to know that there's no autoimmune going on, but it still doesn't answer the problem. So, yeah. But now I can text the people and say, I'm in a place today, and it's not a good one. I need help. And they will drop everything and treat for me. And that's the important thing. And I can see I'm really struggling today, so I'm sorry. Ooh, and my nose is going to start running. You know, here's the ironic thing, is what I'm doing right now is really good because my eyes are dry. And so the fact that I'm on the verge of tears is good because it helps my eyes. Okay, so that quote, which I think actually is a Bible quote, but it's found in the back of the Science of Mind text, page 432. This is why you shouldn't do things like this right after you get off the phone with a doctor. Okay. And I will be honest with you, a little bit later today, I'm going to be really tempted to go back and delete this, and I'm not going to. So, the Science of Mind philosophy, I gotta let go. I gotta let go. Okay. The Science of Mind philosophy teaches a 5-step method of affirmative prayer. These steps or stages are recognition, unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. The final step in which the prayer is released often includes the spoken phrase, and so it is. This means that the person who is praying releases all sense of control, as if to say, I let go and let God. And there we are. Okay. You need to watch me have a meltdown on Facebook. In order to pray effectively, each of us needs to develop the great trust in such an act of release requires. If we want positive changes in our life, we must keep our mind focused on the good we want to experience. And we were talking about that in one of the classes. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. We were talking about that in the class, the Treat Yourself to Life that I'm teaching right now. And that's exactly what it is. We don't want to focus on the problem. And maybe I have been focusing a little too much on the pain. When what's the solution? Maybe the medications are the solution. Maybe if I do a short run and I can get the inflammation under control, then I can manage it better than I'm doing right now. Oh, sometimes being a grown-up sucks. Because we have to be logical and rational and make interesting decisions like this. Oh, okay. If we want positive changes in our life, we must keep our mind focused on the good we want to experience, regardless of what our present circumstances are. We need to focus on the solution. And how many times have I said that? Where our focus is, where our attention is, that's where our power goes. If I'm focused on the pain, what am I going to get more of? I'm going to get more pain. If I'm focused on the solution, which is less pain or no pain at all, then that's where my power is going to go. Oh, gotta love spiritual 2x4s, don't you? Okay, knowing that regardless of what our present circumstances are, knowing that the power of God will act on the new mental mold we are presenting it. Our lives are healed, our circumstances are changed for the better when we replace negative beliefs with positive ones, placing our complete trust in God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. And now I'm thinking of Oh My God Life. If you haven't checked out Oh My God Life, please do. Z and Melissa are wonderful. So the treatment that Margaret has written for us is, God creates all that is, and I daily use divine wisdom in all that I think, say, and do. I trust in God's loving response to me. I accept the good of life, knowing that there is no reluctance on God's part to fulfill my desire. There is no reluctance on God's part to fill my desire. So where is my reluctance coming from? What was it, that phrase that we heard? It was a quote about being a martyr. And it's like, yeah, being a martyr is virtuous, but it's spiritually unsound. Maybe I need to get down off my cross. Because God's willing to fulfill all of my desires. I just need to get down off my cross. With gratitude, I allow God's actions to take place perfectly. And this is why I say, I just had a meltdown on Facebook Live. And a little bit later, I'm going to go back and I'm going to think about this and I'm going to go, I really should delete that. But you know what? Not going to. Because I heard what I needed to hear. And maybe somebody else will hear what they need to hear too. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is right there in the title. I trust in God. That's our mission today. It's our mission every day. It's our mission every day to trust in that power which is greater than us and loves us unconditionally. So, same mission that I give you every day is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. It is super important and definitely one that I need to do today. Not sure what that's going to look like, but I got it. So, yeah. All the other things are the usual things. Do something to engage your mind and your body today. Drink plenty of water today. I keep hearing the weather people say July fry. Oh yeah. So drink plenty of water. And get that early in your day light. Reset your hormones, reset your circadian rhythms. And here's where I'm going to take that deep breath. Open the windows of your soul. Allow yourself. Oh, see, this is what happens. It's a phrase I say. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around you. And I'm going to take Emma's advice and look for the good today. And I'm going to start with the little good and work my way up to the big good. All right? Yeah, and I've calmed down enough so I can tell you to have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magnificent day, a trusting in God day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased always and forever. All right. So, if you need us, we are available on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan. If you want to know what's going on when I don't know what's going on, because, those days happen, email info@creativelife.org. And know that Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. And is tomorrow Thursday? It is Thursday. Okay, so here's the irony. I have another doctor's appointment tomorrow. I have a pre-surgical appointment. I have to have an EKG done for my eye surgery, which is in 2 weeks. So, 2 weeks from today. So that I can see better. And, so this probably won't happen at 9. It may not happen until I get home from work, which will be around 6 o'clock. So if you don't see me in the morning, I'll get it done. I'll do it later when I get off of work. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. You are absolutely loved. Always. And I will see you next time.